So we're seeing right now is a CLL, chronic lymphocytic leukemia. That is the most common leukemia that you will see in your practice. It's relatively common in elderly patients. You can see the slide overall have quite a prevalence of mature lymphocytes. And you can also say that that's all there is, not many other type of cells. Here you can see 5 lymphocytes, and then there's like a smudge in there, right in the middle. Well, that's what you call it, a smudge cell. That indicates that a lymphocyte was too fragile to withstand the friction that is resulted from the smear technique itself. And that's what you do with it. You call it a smudge cell. You do not count it as a lymphocyte because it's a damaged cell. But sometimes the patient's lymphocytes are so fragile that they all rupture when you try to do the smear, and that's all you are left with is smudge cells. So what do? You hop to blood bank and you get little bit of albumin, and you mix albumin with the blood, and then you do your smear. And with the albumin in there, it's more likely that you will be finding better cells because the cells become a little bit more resistant. Two smudge cells, a lymphocyte. You can see we're going through this slide. All you see is lymphocyte, lymphocyte, lymphocyte. There is something absent in there. There is an absence of neutrophils. That is a problem because the absence of neutrophils caused that patient to become immune suppressed. See, all you see, lymphocytes, 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 lymphocytes. That immunosuppression, oh, look, there is a neutrophil in there. But sometimes you have to look for the whole slide, and you might have 90%, 80%, 95%, sometimes even more lymphocytes. And oftentimes that prevalence of lymphocytes in the cell, in the smear, indicates a abnormal reduction on neutrophils, where you can be, when you look into the absolute number of neutrophils, you will see yourself in a critical value, and that has to be reported to the physician immediately, because that immunosuppression is opening that patient to have a really bad outcome. You can see there, we're going through the cells. The other thing you can see is that the cells are normochromic and normocytic. Oftentimes you do have anemia associated with CLL, but very often it's normochromic and normocytic. Is that necessarily so? No, a person can have leukemia and still have anemia because the person is deficient in iron. But most of the time, everything else being equal, this person is likely to have an anemia, but that anemia is going to be normochromic, normocytic, unless there is a comorbid condition associated with that leukemia.